MSNBC's chief White House correspondent and the host of MSNBC's The News with Brian Williams. Please welcome here the man to tell us what it's all about, Brian Williams. Congratulations, a job well done.
Thank you, you too. I don't think you trashed those guys quite enough tonight, but...
I know. It's all we do for fun here.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, we'll get them. Now, tell us, this is a big complaint, and I think it would make the job hard for you guys in the media, was that this election with accurate polling and everything, people were predicting, and it seemed like they were pretty accurate, this thing a long ways off. People knew what to expect come Election Day.
Not a lot of suspense, I guess, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it just was kind of boring.
Yeah, a little bit.
And what does this do? I mean, do you think the people are going to be happy now with what they got?
They better, because it's a 4-year thing. I don't know if that was explained appropriately.
I've never understood that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we do this 4-year increments. So Clinton's going to be another another...
4 years?
Yeah, 4 more years.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's what they were yelling.
I'm glad you came by.
Well, thanks for having me.
Hey, it's good to have you. Next up, Queen Latifah. Now, so tell us, with the accurate polling, though, does that take all the fun out of it?
A little bit. I mean, you like a horse race. It's the only one night I regret working in the news business, because I'm one of those weirdos who sits at home with a remote control and watches all 3 networks.
Yeah.
Or all 5 networks, or 6, depending on your count. But yeah, it takes a little bit of the the charge out of it.
Of the fun out of the whole experience. Yeah. And you sort of wish that they hadn't told us anything, so that people believe that anything could happen. Because I think they declared it at like 9:05. It was pretty much done.
Right, and we knew in the afternoon. That's how exit polling works.
But you're just not allowed to say it because they want to let the West Coast.
We are able to learn, we interview all these voters as they exit the polls, and we learned a lot about how people felt about voting. One common response was, I voted for the president, I just wouldn't trust him for amounts over $10. So that was probably a problem for the Clinton camp, but they'll address that in the second term, which again is 4 years long.
4 years, that's incredible. Yeah. We're writing that down during the break. Now, Dole, the last gamble that he made was the 96 hours straight that he's going to stay up. What did you make of that? Did it make a difference?
Can give you really bad breath, 96 hours. Because
I noticed those last few rallies, there's a 40-foot gap between him and the people.
They had a huge buffer zone, and I felt sorry for him. Actually, we found out he was slipping in some naps because, for example, there was a flight from Cleveland to Pittsburgh. They went via Caracas and Antarctica, so
he got off the plane.
He slept for, I think, 21 hours on that leg between those 2 stops. But, the polls seriously showed that of people who made up their mind in the last 3 days, it actually swayed them. They kind of felt, God bless him. He's in there.
God bless him. He's been up for a long time, and that's what we need in the Oval Office, whatever the reasoning is there.
Willing to stay up as a science experiment, really.
Now, you mentioned, of course, flying around. I've asked you about this before because I'm obsessed. Air Force One. What was it like for you to be on Air Force One in the last week or so?
By the way, this may look like a pocket handkerchief. A little something special for you, buddy.
Hey, that's great. Look at that. There's a little napkin from Air Force One right there. Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
That's what your tax dollar is going to.
Yeah.
Cute little napkins
it's
for
what
Air
I
Force
always
One.
use as pocket handkerchiefs, in fact, disposables.
There you go.
Yeah.
You'd think they'd have a better slogan, too.
Yeah.
Well, you know why they do that? That's
aircraft.
actually saving taxpayer dollars. That works for the helicopter and the plane. See if
there you go. It's interchangeable. And the coasters, too, I understand.
Yeah, whatever's he's
Was it a
on.
joyous mood on Air Force One the last week?
It was pretty buoyant. I mean, they have polling like everybody else, and they knew pretty far in advance that he'd have to screw up. So they kept the president from the press. He was wearing, when I saw him, a Jason mask, just so we wouldn't know which one he was in the motorcade.
They were afraid that anything he would say could destroy them in the last...
Yeah, we weren't allowed to go near him. I mean, they made sure the music was up loud, and we were kept a far distance from him.
Did you get, as a way of contrast at all, on the Dole plane? Did you find your way out of that plane?
I did, and it was a much more somber mood. They led me up front for an interview we did on MSNBC, and he was very wistful. He's an emotional guy, and we were coming into. I know that's funny. We were.
He really is, though. People.
Yeah, he is.
He cries a great deal at speeches.
Yeah.
And he gets teary-eyed.
So apparently, is this woman. I said, we're coming into Kansas, Senator. What does that make you? And he started tears started welling up in his eyes about going home and all that. It was quite something.
Now, do you think that that at all? Do you think that he's a guy that's going to resurface in the next year or so? Do you think it's just goodbye Dole now at this point?
Goodbye Dole. He'll be at his apartment in Bell Harbor, Florida, if you need him. And
Okay.
I'm sure he'll be busting to come on after tonight.
Yeah, he's always been banging on the door to get in here.
Yeah, please let me on.
That was him, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And also, congratulations to the show. You guys were outside, or you were outside last night.
Yeah, I did the exit polling segments. We were outside in 30 Rock. We lit up the side of the building, and I was above the skating rink, and we had Decision 96 emblazoned up on the side of the building. Evidently, there was some jealousy at ABC because I hear Jennings did their broadcast in front of ABC carpet in Lower Manhattan. So, just trying to get in there. You know, they don't have their own big building like this.
You're a mean, cruel man, and that's why we love you. Of course, you're the anchor of NBC's Nightly News each Saturday, and the news with Brian Williams on MSNBC. Thanks so much for coming back.
Pleasure, sir.
We like to hear just what's going on.
Thank you very
Brian
much,
Williams, everybody. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with Queen Latifah. See you in a minute.